truer words have ever been said. What is up, my crew?
Oh, here we go.
We talked some interesting stuff the other day with Flex Lewis, and I'll get those up for you guys. Ignorant bliss. Ignorant bliss is an amazing thing as a youngster, because then it sets you up for the future. Hi, guys. What is happening, everybody? Hey, Titan check-ins. Good job, guys. Good job. And we got some, you guys are staying on point. I love seeing that. You guys staying on point like that.
You got any judo tips?
Yeah, a lot of uprights. Don't cut the range short for uprights. Reverse curls. Don't use straps on back day. When squatting, really focus on opening up the hips. Hack squats, but also single hack squats. So like a single leg hack squats. We haven't done that in a while. But yeah, I would do like a single leg hack squat where the leg bends underneath the other leg. And then if you got it like a sled kind of machine, a parallel machine, again, one-legged.
One where you lay down.
Yeah. Those are some tips for getting your body ready to continue to do that stuff. Beneficial movements, strength. And then just keep open. Keep those hips open.
About to hit shoulders and chest. Any recommendations on different workouts to try today?
I would ask, just curiosity, you're doing chest and shoulders the same day. Will you let me know why those two body parts, or are you pulling back on some front delts because they're getting slightly hit and pre-fatigued with chest, or vice versa? Let me know. Or is it just that stage of programming where you're doing a couple body parts a day, which is fine too? Just asking.
Also, what's different?
Meaning something different?
Yeah.
Well, I think I first want to know why both body parts.
Yeah.
Is that something you've always done, or is that the program that you're on now? Because that will, and the reason I'm asking that is because it will, the difference between going, that's what I do, compared to that's the program I'm on at this moment. Those are two different mindsets. Because the first mindset is he doesn't realize that probably a majority of the time don't do two body parts together.
So he fell behind on his split this week.
No.
Ran out of time this week to get chest day in. Didn't want to fall behind on my split. Shoulders and back because legs is tomorrow.
Yeah, no, you don't. There's no catch up. That's not how it works.
So you prefer to just stay on?
Well, a week isn't 7 days when it comes to training. A week can be 10 days.
Right.
It depends on the body, how it recovers.
Mm-hmm.
So I get Monday through Sunday is our work week and all that stuff, but that's not our training. Our training is off of how well our body recovers. And we'd love to stay with it during the week, right? And get it all in, but that's not how it always works sometimes.
And it's
So-
more detrimental to then half-ass chest, and now you're gonna half-ass shoulders just to get it in one day. Is that part of it?
Well, it's metaphor for anything. You're not catching up. You missed 4 meals. Let's say you're on a nutrition plan. You missed 4 meals and you haven't, for some weird reason. And so you go, you know what? I'm just going to have all my meals in 2 sections
Right.
today. Well, your body can't utilize that much. Now, sure, you're taking in the calories, but you just you're making things more difficult for your body instead of just going, okay, I missed that. Let me just get right now back on consistency instead of going, I'm going to just catch up to everything. Just think of it. Times it by 2. I missed 3 days, so I'm going to train my whole body today.
Ooh,
It's like,
there you go.
it doesn't work that way. Stay calm, guys. Guys, you're in no rush. So my recommendation is just stay on the program and just move everything a day forward. That's simplify it. That's really you mess up 3 days. All right, start over. Don't try to catch up. Can't catch up on sleep. It's not like you're going to go to work and go, hey, I missed yesterday, so I'm going to just work the next 16 hours straight.
You have to.
Old school college, cramming that shit in the night before the test, right?
Easy work.
Yeah. Off the cuff, I don't have anything unique for you. I stay basic, but yeah, get in there. The one thing that I think I can help, the one thing I can help you with is just saying, don't try to catch up. Tomorrow's not leg day. Metaphorically. Just another day, Captain. You guys can clip that one. Have fun. I'm going to let him know.
Here's a good one. What are your thoughts on working out the same muscle group 2 times in a day in the off season? Morning compounds, evening isolation.
Sorry, start again.
What are your thoughts on working out the same muscle group 2 times in a day in the off season? Morning compounds, evening isolation.
100%. 100%. Man, I went through, it's me. Joe DeAngelis, go look him up. Mr. America, one of the strongest bodybuilders ever to walk the planet. And lifted his technique was isolation movements with powerlifting strength. So he could narrow stance, high bar squat 700. Absolute savage. But what we would do me, Pooh Bear, Prime Rib, would go in the morning and we would do our deadlifts. We'd go in the mornings and do our squats. We'd go in and do our inclines, our shoulder presses. Then leave. That's all we would do. We would do like an hour and a half, 2 hours of just squatting.
You do an hour and a half of squatting.
And then we'd leave.
3 hours.
Yeah. Then we'd leave and come back early afternoon and do legs. Yeah, I loved that. Absolutely loved it. It allowed me to get some great meals prior, 4 huge meals before and after those workouts, plus other meals. I had the time to do it. I set up my life in a way to where I could do that. And some of my best strength gains and size was during that time. So I love that idea. I don't know anybody that ever did that besides us.
No,
I've
no.
never heard anybody ever do that. I loved it.
It's usually good.
If you're gonna train it the once, get on, get out.
Rarely people do chest morning at night.
It's great.
Love your vids, especially when you and Billy are having fun. How has years of bodybuilding affected you mentally?
Extreme peace, an amazing sense of a sarcasm to the average, understanding that consistency is the rarest thing for a human, and knowing that I kept that and to the level too, it allowed other things to expand. So it was a tremendous benefit. But I guess I'm taking bodybuilding in the sense that you're saying it, in the sense that how I approached it. I approached it much different than other people. And that's common knowledge that I approached it much different. I always did bodybuilding because I believed it was an art show. In no world is it an athletic thing. It's not. Every sport works out. Every attorney, and doctors work out. Doesn't mean they're athletes. Working out with weights, I do think it's a good thing for the body. And I think if you create a physique, then it's an art show. And so I always created the art piece to look how I wanted it to look.
Mike, if you have a reference photo, would you like an oil portrait done? Reach out.
Are you kidding me?
Hell yeah.
Screenshot that name. My man, what is your IG?
Yeah, put the gram down.
Put the gram down. Easier to contact you there instead of the Facebook. My man. Star that bad boy. I love it. And you do you said oil.
Yeah.
You explain what the difference between oil and water. I guess it's just oil paint.
It's the material.
Material.
Oil, they can get hyper realistic looking.
Oh, really?
It's like
And it's also textured, I imagine.
It's a little bit, yeah. It's like the presidential portraits that they do.
So that would most likely be oiled then.
I don't think that's oil now. No, oil is straight up like fucking Napoleon riding a horse.
Oh,
You
jeez.
know what I mean? Like those photos that you've seen.
Wow. Like at the Louvre. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate that. Artist to artist. Thank you.
Mike, I've heard you talk about delayed overspill when dieting. Can you explain what that is and what to do when it happens?
It's too late when it happens.
Oof.
So the spillover is a two-folder. So a lot of bodybuilders see it, or fitness people see it when they get ready for a show and they start carbing up for the show. And like our guy, the amazing Robbie Robinson was talking about this, and Frank Zane was talking about this, where Frank felt possibly that he was a little behind, but he had to peak for the Olympia. And Robbie was coming into the Olympia and peaked maybe a little bit early. And this is from them. And so Robbie missed the time. And Frank said that Robbie would have won if he came in like he did. So that's pretty props from two legends that respect each other, that are friends, that are the most amazing. And so spilling over is like right when you look perfect, but it's not the moment that you're shooting for. And there's a delay to it. And then you get on stage and you're a little flatter and stuff. And so that's for fitness people on stage. Now, what happens is, regardless of how you do at a show, right? We all look good when we slice and dice. You look better individually, right? And you sliced up, and there's that moment where you're like, God damn, I really like this look. And I'm so lean, I can have another high day, and I can have another fill out day. And then you wake up the next day and it looks just as good, and you have another fill out day. So what happened was, it's the delay to that where your body is already slowing and the carbohydrates is hitting your system in a different way. Because when you do diet down, your body doesn't utilize the carbohydrates as well as when you're off season. You guys are off season, your body weight doesn't change much. But if you're sliced down and you have about a week worth of high days, your body can change. My body changes up to 25 to 30 pounds, you know, the water weight and the whole food and everything. So it's the spillover is one of those things. Most people don't ever have to worry about that because it's one of those really fine-tuned physiques. But I always like that moment before it spills over. I dieted down so hard, and then I have a good week of just going, let me just carb up. And the body retains that size and strength. And we were just talking about this girl the other day that she did a show and then she was filling up and it just looked beautiful and round before it spilled over.
Advice on building stubborn quads on a tall frame. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, we got to find it out, right? We just got to find out what works for you. So I'm assuming by this stage, you've done a lot of things you've heard online. It's like, hey, I did this program, I did that program. Now you got to start doing yourself. You got to start testing yourself. Hey, like we talked earlier in this talk, one of the cool things was how I'd go in the morning and I would just do my squats and we'd go off. And what was nice is I knew that I could drop my load at that moment and do the whole shit and caboodle. And that I had 4 or 5 hours before the next workout. So I could recover to do secondary. And man, it worked for me. And it tremendously worked for me. It built my strength, my size. I was moving more weight every single day. And if you're moving more weight, you're eating more food, you're getting more size. So that was one of the big things that we were doing and stuff. So, Johnny, I was just talking about how at some point you have to be the teacher. You know, after you've read everything, after you've tried everything that you hear online and in the magazines, at some point, if it's still not growing, you have to start experimenting on yourself with training and stuff. So we're just kind of going over that mostly for a tall guy with legs. I do want to say this though. At no point, because you're a tall guy, don't do the whole thing where the tall guy goes, I can't build legs because I'm tall. Absolutely not. Yeah, I know too many guys, and John just brought on another teammate. I'm a good sized guy, but I mean, Lucas is a monster. But even Thor was sitting next to me on my couch, and Thor is 6'9". His calves are bigger than my thighs.
Yeah,
so
he's a big dude.
Monster. It's monster. So you can build no matter what height you are, you can build. You just at some point you got to experiment it and get a coach that maybe mimics the understanding of you've got to experiment as well. Johnny, how are you, my man?
I'm doing all right. It's Friday. I'm alive. I'm breathing. We're here. So, you know, it's a good day for that, for sure. How you guys doing?
All right. We're good, my man. We're good. I wore a nice shirt for you today.
Oh, I like that. American Psycho. Yeah, Christian Bale. That's a classic right there, for sure.
That's a classic shirt right there.
Classic shirt, classic movie, man, for sure.
So we had success this week. As you know, I was, as this is more for everybody here. Me and John had a talk when I signed this last deal for this movie we're filming right now. And I said, it's going to be the hardest character I've ever done, plus the biggest arch I've ever done as a character. And I have to take it to an extreme level to where I've never gone before. And John kind of helped me with my protocol over at Titan Medical
Mhm.
He said, well, this is what we need to do. We got to take care of this, the energy, the mind, and all this as you're getting ready for this. And so I just want to say, from everything this week on set, thanks, brother.
Oh,
It
dude,
worked. It
I'm glad.
worked.
I'm glad. You look amazing, dude. You look amazing. And so, at that point, I'm glad mental's there, physical's there. That's what it's all about, dude, for sure. Health wise, too.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I push it to an extreme, which I like. But just that kind of, and again, I think I do this for me.
Mhm.
It's I
Mhm.
got a pretty fun life. But so yeah, I just want to say thanks to Titan Medical. And again, if anybody thinks that this is bodybuilding, it's not.
Right.
And I've talked about this. This was like I said, the Christian Bale diet for machinists. And this photographer was on set, and very, European photographer. It's
Mhm.
a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss. Either they're freaking brilliant or not. And so this guy was, and he got some shots. And when I saw the one shot, I said machinist, and he goes, "That's what I thought."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we got there. We went to it. I'll send you a picture of what the face looked like, but it was
Definitely.
great makeup, great stuff they did. But the body and the sculpture itself was set to do this. So
Mhm.
I thank you again. And the reason I say this, not bodybuilding, is because for this movie, I had to be at an all-time low
Mhm.
and gaunt. And
Mhm.
so Johnny helped me do that. And so the team, not just Johnny, but the whole team there at Titan Medical. So understand that Johnny's the captain, the coach, the leader.
Mhm.
But I just had a talk with my provider
Yes.
at Titan Medical this morning, and kind of went over my blood work
Mhm.
and suggestions from her. And again, it's great how they set it up. Are you still eating? What's going on? Are you feeling good? Are you not feeling good? This is what I'm seeing on your blood work. How do you think it is? What should we do? Maybe you should go. And it's great.
Yeah. I mean, our providers, they know that those are essential questions to ask too, because I mean, it's just not all about the meds or, I mean, other things and other variables could be happening. And obviously, we want to set you up for success as a patient with Titan Medical Center. So, we want to make sure you're doing all the right things, or at least going over these things to make sure you know what you should be doing, along with the therapies. So we can get a gauge, right? Like if somebody says, like, I don't drink any water, I don't like the taste of water. Like, well, we better start getting on water. I've heard that I don't know how many times, Mike. And I'm like,
I don't like the taste of water. What's water taste like?
nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like your body's made of it. If anything, it's like saliva is almost like water to a certain extent. You got this in your mouth, like your body's 70% of water, right? Right. Vital organs, blood, all these things, stem from water. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. For people not to want to drink water, I mean, and you can add me and myself, I wouldn't add any of the little things. They got like Mio and like all these little things you can add in, the flavoring of the water. The problem with that, and no, it's not going to have any sugar in it, 0 calories and all these other things, but you're talking about sugar substitutes and things like that I don't personally like. That I think that if somebody really wanted to change what their water tasted like, they could add some fruit in it and call it a day. They even make like the jugs now where you can put the fruit in like this little straining part in the center and it goes all the way in
Do
the
they
water.
really?
Yeah,
Show me a picture of that.
I will. I definitely will. Cause like, you just put it in there. And
I gotta be honest. You go to like a doctor's office or a wellness center or something like a massage place, then they have their they have the
jugs with like the oranges
like
or lemons in them.
the oranges or something like that, or the I don't know if it's cucumbers or something. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you taste that water. I'm like, God damn, what is that? That's a Ritz cracker. That's some good shit right there. Where you get your water, man? We don't got this in Mississippi.
That's what I'm saying. Good water, I mean, that's key. And that's the other thing, like good water, because you could taste some bad water, right? And
oh, wait a minute. So
That little compartment.
so that compartment
Yep.
has the fruit in it.
Yep.
And then it's just.
And you fill it with water. and that's it.
Huh.
Deal. It's there. It works. I've caught one. Like I know because people were asking this all before, and when that meal came out, I'm like, well, let's look at another alternative for people that don't want to take in some of these sugar substitutes or fake sugars. And at that point, like this is a really good way for somebody to do it and get some flavor out of it. And at that point, drink the water and be hydrated. I mean, hydration is not just for your vital organs, your blood, I guess. I mean, but it's essential for you to live. You can live by drinking water than food, right? You can live longer drinking water than you can food, right? If you're on a desert island and you had food or water, your water should be number one priority. At that point, it's just is how it is, man. So yeah, so for people like that, hydration is key. Obviously, even on a regular basis, if you're not hydrating properly, you might be putting damage on your kidneys or other areas too as well. So these are not good. When you're going in for a blood test, you want to make sure that you hydrate properly the night before, all the way into going up into the test. The reason is if you are dehydrated, that's going to show on your creatinine and your kidney levels, and those things can fluctuate. So that might freak out your provider, whoever it is, and they don't mind see those numbers. So take the precaution, be proactive. I did a whole segment on it yesterday. Being proactive instead of reactive. Majority of the time, you want to be proactive. There are certain situations where you're going to have to be reactive because you don't know what's coming, right? So at that point, like if you're being proactive about these things, you're going to set yourself up for a long line of success. If you're just being reactive on things, like waiting for things to happen, and a great example in the health industry would be like, all right, so Mike takes care of himself, right? He's in his 50s, he drinks water, he's been eating, he's been training all his life. He's been being proactive about his health. Like he always looks for these different things. And then you have the procrastinator where they've went 50 years, haven't exercised, they don't eat right. Now they have all kinds of health problems. Okay. And now the doctor's saying, hey, listen, you better lose some weight or you're going to be in some big trouble. Now you got to be reactive to the situation. What am I going to do to get out of this thing? Instead of, if you were proactive, you wouldn't have to work as hard. You wouldn't have to worry about some of these different details that are going on with your health, and you're winning, right? And that's what we want to do. We want to win. So, it's just all about being proactive in life. And this is anything, business, nutrition, whatever you're doing. Like if you're being proactive about things, and like I said, you can't be, I would say 98% of the time you can be proactive. 2% of the time you got to be reactive because situation scenarios come out of the blue, curveball comes out of there, and you got to be ready to hit it when it comes. So at that point, like, if that comes, be reactive, do the best you possibly can to get out of the situation, make the best of the situation. So that's my thing. But it's a good one for people to really understand because a lot of people out there are procrastinators and they wait to the last minute to get something done. If you would have did it in the beginning, you've been proactive about things, you would have had it done, not have to worry about it, not have to rush through things. It's a lot of different things, right? It'd be like, say for Olympia, right? Like we're going to get ready for Olympia. We want to be in the best shape of our lives, right? We're not going to wait till the last week to start training. Makes sense, right? Like if we wait till last week, we're probably ain't going to get much. You got 12 weeks, 8 weeks, you can do some more things than you can, 7 days. So it's just, it's just examples of people when I tell them this, and I'll be like, hey, listen, are you a proactive or reactive person? And what does that mean? That's what I break it down for them. Like, what do you do? Are you that person that waits around? Or is it the person like, hey, listen, you can get this done 30 days in advance. Why don't you just do it now and you don't have to worry about it?
I love it. One of the things is that I love about that is that a lot of people will see somebody like in my age and say, hey, so what's the trick?
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, the trick is what you just said.
Being proactive.
Yeah. Starting young. Just get in shape when it's real. Get in shape when you're young and then just stay in shape.
Yep.
So that's my best advice for anybody out there.
Yep.
It's the most simple way to do that.
Yep. Sure. It's crazy.
The other way to do that is wait until the doctor says you have to get in shape.
Not good, right? Like even people that want surgeries, right? And people are overweight and want to go get surgery, want to get liposuction. Some of these people are so severely overweight, they won't do it. And they tell them, hey, listen, you got to lose weight before you can get this procedure done. That's how it is. Even bariatric surgery sometimes. Again, some of those, like they want them to lose some weight. So it's just something that, you need to take control of. And there's no reason not to be able to be proactive about weight loss right now, especially with all the GLPs out there and all the things that you have at your fingertips. You can use these things as tools too, as well, especially if it's weight gain that you're worried about. or your weight loss and you're trying to really hit it, I mean, the GLPs are going to be great for you guys to do, and they can help you. They can help you, as far as, training your eating habits if you really want to, right? And at that point, like curbing the hunger status, letting you pick like smaller portions, better food sources, like this is the key. And then if you stick to that, you'll be good going forward. Like, but if you don't, and you just go back to, hey, listen, I'm gonna start eating cheeseburgers, when GLP, and pizza and milkshakes. God, I wish I had that. And just bad food all day, right? They're eating McDonald's three meals a day. Like, you're probably not going to be successful in the future going on like that.
Unless you just go sue McDonald's and they give you millions because you're, okay. But anyways,
you can get a call and get millions from them. So yeah.
Johnny's absolutely right on this aspect. Also, side note, I know that you talked about curveballs in a metaphoric way, but I just found out from Deion Sanders, he was talking about some of the greatest athletes, and you guys weigh in on this. I love this aspect. And Deion was asked, who's the greatest athlete of all time? And the announcer says, because Michael Jordan was also a multi-athlete guy. And he goes, Michael and Deion says, no, we couldn't hit the curveball. Bo Jackson could hit the curveball.
Yeah.
And Bo Jackson was just a different phenomenon. But that's just a side note.
He was a beast, dude. He was a beast for sure.
Absolutely. Truly amazing. But again, this is a guy that was, he reminded me like of Herschel Walker's. And Herschel Walker's is, I think, in his 60s now. I'll double check that. And he's one of these guys that was, again, took care of himself from a very, very young age. Now, he was not a big weightlifter, but he was a very much a body type workout. So handstand push-ups, push-ups themselves, a lot of pull-ups and stuff. And he also rolls and does MMA, but he's in his 60s. But this guy's been an absolute phenomenon since he was 13, 14. How old is Herschel Walker? 63. Yeah. Heisman winner.
Yeah. Herschel Walker.
I gotta say, I was happy when I met Herschel, because I was with Heath Evans, who played pro football.
Yeah.
And Herschel reached over Heath and goes, Mike, good to meet you. It's like, Herschel likes me. He knows who I am. It's like,
oh my God.
How big? 6'1", 225. That's a good size.
Absolutely.
Mostly his shape.
Yeah.
But just for you guys out there doing body workouts or any kind of exercise, but starting at a young age and just continuing to do that through life, obviously sets you up in a tremendous way. And then jumping over to what Titan Medical does is Titan Medical makes sure, because not everybody's the same, Titan Medicals make sure that your body inside is functioning correctly.
That's right.
And each week they have the therapy of the week.
Therapy of the week. Yep. And this week is GLP-1s. So you guys will get discounts on any of the GLP-1s that you want to order. If you want to know more about that, call or text. Nationwide service for you guys. So it's real simple and real easy to do. No blood work's needed for the GLP-1s. At that point, you're going to fill out the new patient paperwork. You're going to see the medical provider. And at that point, you'll be able to order your GLP-1s or any other therapies that do not require blood work. But if you want to get blood work, you can always check where your hemoglobin A1C is, which is that 3-month sugar average. You can check a lot more other things too as well, just to make sure you're covering all aspects. Like, it sucks that if you don't, right? Because you don't really know what you're getting into. You don't really know what the problem is. You're just, masking it or saying, hey, listen, maybe I can get some result by using this. But at that point, like it's really vital to get blood work. It really is. Like I like to do it every 3 to 6 months at least, right? And after 30 is when you really should start looking at this. Before 30, maybe, like if you're having symptoms or problems, I would say at least once a year in your 20s, all the way up to maybe about 28, because 28, you start getting close to that 30 range. And then just checking and seeing, and then being able to go over these things, because so many things can change within 30 to 60 days that, you want to be on top of it, especially if you're introducing like new supplementation, new diet, like all these different things can be checked. You know, it might be cholesterol issues or whatever. I mean, there's certain things that go on the genetic side that, you know, you might not be able to succumb, but majority of the time you can. You know, that's don't use it as an excuse or a scapegoat that, oh, my genetics are like this, right? Like, have you even tried to change things up? Have you really tried, right? And then if you have, you know, and you need help on that end, well, there you go. Well, at least you've exhausted all your options that you could possibly do. And then you're going down that path of, or what else can I do to get this down or to get this right or in balance? I mean, that's the biggest thing that I see, you know, with a lot of guys out there or girls. I mean, girls I don't really see too much of, but guys I've been seeing lately a lot, like cholesterol factors and all that, like including myself, which I was really shocked at and appalled in the last blood test. I was like, how's my LDL and HDL ratio out of range like this? Like, I'm a pretty good eater and I'm very consistent what I've been eating, especially lately. Like, if anything, I've cut down on my calories because I haven't been training as much. I've been trying to give my shoulders a break. Next week it goes into full blast, but I've still been training, like just light, right? Just making sure, like, all right, I'm not hurting. I can go through this. But cholesterol has changed in the last 60 days for me, and not in a good way. So at that point, I'll be retesting in 30 days and see what's going on. Anybody that's like that, definitely retest, right? If something is really, really off, you should be testing within 30 or 60 days. If it's a hemoglobin A1C, a 3-month sugar average, you're going to have to wait at least 3 months usually. And that sugar average can change because, like, if you wait a month and it's on that next 3 months and that other one drops off and the other new one adds on, but I would give it just a complete 90-day run. And at that point, you can see exactly how things are working. That's the best. I mean, blood work's key.
Can we talk about a person kind of checks out, which I guess in the old days, it makes sense. We had a lot more trust in doctors back in the day.
Yep.
But if a doctor says you don't need a colonoscopy till you're 50, you pretty much just go, okay, cool. The doc said it, so I'm good.
All right.
Where for you, where does that change for you, or do you just take the doctor's word for it? I guess is my question.
It changes for me. It changes for me because obviously I know that now in my family history, my dad had colorectal cancer. That means I need a colonoscopy at 40. I should already had one. I'm 44 right now, and I'm going to schedule it here very shortly, probably after Olympia. But at that point, like, you need to do these checks, especially right now. Colorectal cancer, prostate cancer is on the rise. Like, and it's not just if you have it in your family. There's people that don't have it in their family and they're starting to get it. So at that point, like, it's key to do this now. If a doctor tells you not to get it at 50 or not to get it till 50, I wouldn't take that advice. And, like, you know, back in the day, it was a blind faith type situation. If your doctor told you something, especially nowadays, like even still, the old timers like my dad, like if a doctor says something, like that's bond. He doesn't care what I have to say or anything like that. Now he's a little bit more open about what I have to say. But at that point, like before, it would be like, no, this is what the doctor said. I'd be the same way though. Before I went Titan a long time ago, like, you know, if I went to the doctor and the doctor told me, you do this, you take this, like, I'm going to do it like to a T, really, because he's the guy that knows. I didn't know, right? So I'm going to follow the guy that's telling me what to do. And nowadays, I just think that healthcare has took such a dive, and you know, just different things have went down. I think standards and quality too, as well, or standards on education too. Or before it was like a DEI type situation where people were getting to med school that probably shouldn't have been there, guys. Like, you can look at some of these different studies and some of these different cases that came out now about some of these different doctors that got let through, and a lot of them didn't have the education or couldn't pass the level, and they had to curb the testing rates for these students. The other ones were foreigners coming into our system of medical, and at that point, not being the best. So if you go to a hospital and all you meet is a Patel, that's probably why.
Okay. That's a lot of stress. That's a lot of stress. You got to be your own doctor.
You can't understand the guy coming in there talking to you. You don't know if it's right. And then, I don't know. I like I said, I've seen it now from like so many different angles, especially like even having my dad in there for such a long time, that the hospitalists change every 2 days because they only work 12 hours on, 12 hours off usually in rotation. So one cardiologist comes in, says something. 2 days later, another cardiologist comes in there, says something totally different, and they can't agree. So it's just, you know, you have to watch out for yourself a little bit more, and you have to take charge of your health a little bit more. Not saying like if somebody like a doctor tells you to do this and you go to Dr. Google and Dr. Google tells you absolutely not, well, you need to find out what's real. I wouldn't just be going what Dr. Google says either. That's the other aspect. So, because I get people all the time, they'll go on, like I talked to a guy yesterday and he was real hesitant about growth hormone peptides. So of course, like the girl's like, hey, listen, John, can you get on the phone? Anytime one of those staff members asks me to get on the phone or a patient does, I'm on the phone and I'll talk to them just because I know the experience. I know what's going to happen. So, and the guy's telling me about it, he's like, I'm worried about estrogen going up, testosterone going down. Is this going to happen? Am I going to gynecomastia from this? I'm like, absolutely not. Then I start explaining what this peptide is and how it works. And it has nothing to do with these hormones of testosterone, progesterone, or estrogen. So, it's just, they go out and they see something on Reddit or Google in some forum or just on there in some website or landing page. And, they believe it, because they see it online. It's just like, it's like anybody that goes into a supermarket or a CVS or Walgreens. Before, when you walked in there and you went to a shelf and you went to go buy a product, you would say, hey, listen, this product is okay because somebody looked it over. And at that point, this should be no harm to me because there's something over the counter. Now, what have we seen from that? We've seen things that were vital and essential, like sunscreen, having carcinogenics all through it in all the major brands. Just certain things like that where you I hate to say it, but you got to question things nowadays to a certain extent. So if somebody ever questions me or Titan or anything, I have no problem like explaining to them like exactly what the difference is. And in peptide therapy, like, of course, it's not going to be $25 or $50 because you're getting online at some research chemical site that says not for human use. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more money because we're actually running testing on these products, and the testing is not cheap. And research chemical sites say, "Oh, we're running third-party testing," and they show some page on their site. Is that real? Do we know? But the third-party testing that we get from a pharmacy, you can actually talk to the third-party testing and see, did this pharmacy actually go there? And did they get the testing done? And then you get the results from the pharmacy and from the third-party side. So that's a true way to really know on certain things like that. But you got to question things nowadays. And if you don't think things are right, go get a second opinion. Even if you don't think things are right with Titan, go get a second opinion. See what they say. I've had people leave us, come back to us because one, they thought the price was going to be better. Two, they were like, oh, like I'll get a better dosage. And it usually always, I have a saying with Sharice, they always come back because essentially the dose probably ain't going to be the same. And they've got hidden costs where it's probably more expensive than where we are.
I agree with John. And I did want everybody just to understand that that's my take as well, is that a doctor is a reference and he's just one person. I think if you love your life, you do yourself injustice if you just take his word and then drop it. Like John, I got a great family history because there's 10 of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see not just my grandparents, but my parents.
Yep.
And so, metaphorically, it was like the colonoscopy was at 35 because that's one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But just because the doctor says you don't need it till you're 50, and this is metaphorically, this is like a test,
right?
And they give you an age. Well, I did my own research and I come back and I go, this is where I'm going to do it. And this is the time in between, because they also do a second one where if you do get tested, and again, this is metaphor for all tests you do, guys. But in this case, this one was every 5 years. I do it every 3 years.
Yeah.
So just my recommendation is better to be checked and nothing instead of finding out 2 years later or a year. They're still figuring out things. They don't have all the answers, is what we're trying to say.
Yep.
And something about, stuff coming out. This is a great one for you, Johnny, because this is one of those things.
Yeah. So thoughts on people that use Ozempic and drugs like those? Pretty much everybody. I would say 7 out of 10 patients are on some sort of GLP-1 nowadays. It's a lot of people. So, people that use these things, I think they, like I said, use them as a tool and not a crutch. You'll get great results from these things. They'll help you in a number of different ways. Health-wise, there's amazing benefits coming out about GLP-1s, cardiovascular, kidneys, like there's a lot. So at that point, thoughts on people using it? I think people should. If they need it or it's going to benefit them in a major way health-wise, why not? Why are we saying don't use it? Because people are scared or people that are fat don't want people to get skinny, or what's the deal? I mean, listen, I'm the same boat. Like I didn't really want people using GLP-1s in the beginning because I like the lifestyle change. You're getting healthier, changing your lifestyle instead of just taking a drug. But I mean, at that point, like it's a super tool, man. It's something that you know what? Maybe they can't commit to everything that we need to commit to. And at that point, they can supplement this to the side and get a healthier result and be healthier because of it. Maybe things will change too for them. I don't know, but I do see a lot of people that are using these drugs with us, and they are using it the right way, and they are changing their healthy lifestyle habits into really healthy lifestyle habits, I guess. So, as far as that goes, like, they're getting their calories on point, they're picking better food sources, and they're getting really, really good results. And then you have people that are using this outside of like needing it, right? Like an off-label use type deal where, these guys want to lose a lot of body fat percentage, want to increase insulin sensitivity. And at that point, they can do it. They can do an awesome cut on this, a physique competitor, a bodybuilder, a model. I know a ton of models that are taking this, guys and girls, so, in the vanity aspect, I mean, this can help a lot too. So, but it's all about health. It should be number one about health. And at that point, what's going to reflect on the inside will reflect on the outside. If you're healthy on the inside, usually will reflect on the outside for you too. The drugs are good. I think the GLPs, across the board, like I said, there's more coming down the pipe. So what you've seen might be amazing, but what you're going to see is just going to be magnificent in the future. Can you get blood work every 6 months covered by insurance? So it really depends on your provider if they're willing to do that for you and what tests they're willing to do. Most general practitioner providers are not willing to write all the tests that you're going to get from us. They don't dive deep in those things. Some are out of their scope of practice too as well. And it opens up a can of worms for them. So if you blood test, sure.
I got to hold. Do they realize how inexpensive something like this is?
I don't
because I think when they hear blood work,
yeah,
it's a medical procedure. So it's $10,000, obviously.
I did some market research yesterday on a couple other different competitors.
It's not, guys, just so you know. It's not that.
I seen one competitor, they have two different testings, three actually. The first testing starts at $480. $480.
What is Titan Medical?
Ours is $150 for guys testing through Michael Hearn's discount or mine. Even if you didn't get the discount, it's $200. So it's very inexpensive to find out what's going on.
Would it be easier then just to pay cash? Because it's $400 for a female in a year.
Brig Commander, let me tell you why you want to pay cash instead of using your insurance on this. Real simple, real fast. Let's get to the points. You want to do blood work, paying cash. One reason, because if you do go through us or anybody else, you're paying cash like that, it doesn't get sent over to the insurance company for billing. So if there's something that's really wrong on there, really messed up, you don't want them getting their hands on that if you can. So if they do, it could put you in a higher risk category. Even if you're doing insurance, and you got to do the blood test for insurance, it's always better to do the cash pay first, see what's going on, make sure those levels are going to be all good, and then have that company come out and do it. Second reason is this. If you do it through them, through your general practitioner, you're probably going to have to wait 2 weeks to even get an appointment with the general practitioner to get your results. With us, 3 to 4 business days, you can get your results done. If there is something on there you want to talk to our medical provider with, we can put you on a couple of days. Boom. You could probably be getting going in 1 week if you really wanted to expedite things all the way. So at that point, there are the reasons why I would do it out of pocket. And the third reason, I guess, and I didn't bring this up, was deductibles. Everybody's deductible is different, right? But a lot of people have deductibles. We have to pay the deductible before the insurance pays for anything else. So prescriptions, blood work, like all these things. The other aspect of this is this. Even if the practitioner is cool as hell, writes you for all these tests, when you go in and do the test, they have to present those ICD-10 codes. Those are insurance billing codes. if the insurance company thinks that you didn't need that blood test or that wasn't really like it wasn't put in correctly, now they're charging you full price for that test, which could be one of those tests could be $300 just by itself. One. So at that point, you don't have to worry about that either. So those are the main 3 points. And I think everybody should take advantage of it.
Side note, a friend actually does life insurance policies, and he said that, and I did not know this, and I guess a lot of people do have life insurance policies.
Sure.
If you do get a lot of checkups and a lot of injuries and a lot of things, that plays into your life insurance policy and your insurance.
Yep.
So again, if there is issues, that's a side note. That's just, how you manage your life.
Yeah. It's kind of it's kind of like regular it's like car insurance though, right? Car insurance, you don't hit anything, your rates probably aren't going to go up that much. If you hit things, get tickets, you're constantly taken in for diagnostics and they got to cover those bills, your bill is going to go up. Same thing. That's how it is.
Okay. All right. Jeffrey, what do we got, my man?
Hey, Mike, can you build a lot of muscle of TRT on 160 milligrams a week? Absolutely, guys. I mean, I would probably want to recommend 200 milligrams, but there are patients on our level, because we have all different types of dosing, that take 160 milligrams a week. I see their blood test and what they come back as. And even after holding for 2 or 3 days, it usually comes back between 700 and 900 at the top end. That's really good. So you can build muscle in that aspect. If you're at the higher end of things, I'd say when you start getting below 6, usually as a guy, it's a little bit tougher to do some of these things. A little bit, right? Everybody's different too, but usually you're going to have some symptoms when you start hitting 5 or 4. And at that point, it's not going to be as easy because your body's not running as optimal as it possibly can. It's like a race car. You go on the track, everything's not dialed in, tires are off balance. The car is not going to run the best lap. Everything's dialed in, the car runs the best lap because everything is perfect. It's in homeostasis and harmonic balance. That's exactly how you should think about your body and balancing. It's not introducing one thing to the ecosystem. If you introduce one thing to the ecosystem, like just testosterone, it's going to mess up other things in the ecosystem. But if everything's balanced in that ecosystem, everything's going to live great. You're going to harmonious balance throughout that ecosystem, and you're going to feel the best. You're going to perform the best. And that's going to be the best possible situation for you and your body. Sean Price, what's the quickest way to lose stomach fat? So belly fat or visceral fat, maybe on the stomach, or it might be subcutaneous fat. We don't know because I don't have a picture and we don't know all your stats. But if you want to lose belly fat can be contributed to a couple different things. One, your eating habits, right? If you're just eating like crap and you're getting a whole bunch of visceral belly fat, that's one aspect. 2, it could be hormone-wise. Hormones can directly affect, belly fat too. Like usually for females or guys that have pooches, usually it might be an estrogen thing or something could be off there too as well. So what's the best way to do this with losing stomach fat? 1 would be a calorie deficit. 2 would be able to use some sort of medication that can destroy visceral belly fat, which could be testosterone 1, or you can use a GLP-1 like retatrutide. And at that point, you're going to get some really, really good results pretty quick with that. And you can still build some muscle on top of that. So, obviously, like we're all looking for the unicorn effect of losing body fat and producing more lean mass and bigger muscle. That's the unicorn effect, right?
Yeah.
That's what we all want. And usually people go in one direction or the other. They say, listen, all right, it's time to cut down. Let's cut down. And now it's time to bulk back up and let's do the cut and stuff like that. You can do that, if you're in one way situation, like I know Mike was like, all right, listen, I'm going to cut for this movie and then I'm going to start bulking, putting it all back on. Right. But at that point, once you get to a certain situation where you like the way you look to a certain extent, then you can kind of just take it as a slower pace, unless you got something coming up like a competition or something. You take it at a slower pace, building muscle over time and still stay kind of lean. That's how you want. That's how you want. You don't want to put on a whole bunch of fat in the off season or these weeks because you're eating a whole bunch of junk.
Hey, be nice. Be nice. I like my bulky Mike.
I like it, but you don't bulk like that. You don't bulk like going to McDonald's 3 times a day or eating like 6,000 calories of junk food at one. I don't know, maybe once, but I don't think it happens all the time, Mike. So you're not
Never happens.
category. You're not in that category. So, for the people that really do that, like, what are you guys doing here? You guys are just putting on a whole bunch of fat and water weight just to cut back down to where you were. What do you have? Maybe half inch you've gained on your arms, maybe if you're lucky. So at that point, like, I don't know. I try to go for the unicorn effect myself at this point, but if you got to build muscle and that's what you're trying to do, then try to do the best of your ability and feed the beast or the machine like it should be fed, and you'll get a lot better results, and you won't have as much fat or water retention going along with it.
I like it.
All right, supplements to support hair growth and color. So I'm still looking for the peptide to get rid of the grays, guys. But supplement to hair growth. All right, so this is awesome. So our hair health capsules are awesome. So if you want an oral sort of option, it has multiple components in it, from things that are going to help your hair grow, shine, and actually block DHT. If you're on testosterone, you're worried about losing your hair. We have our hair foam, Titan hair foam. It has minoxidil, finasteride, and lantropost, all in topical form. I wouldn't take finasteride orally. Minoxidil, I'm still up in the air about. But topically, these components, especially together, work awesome. Keeping the hair, letting the hair grow and get thicker, that is the game. And that is exactly what the hair foam does. If you take these two things together, it's going to just expedite results. It's going to make the hair, you're going to notice within the first 30 days, your hair is getting better. The other aspect to this is the injectable biotin. Now, if you can take all three of these things, you're really going to see a fast result, and it's going to be a great result with hair, skin, and nails. So we're not just talking about hair health. And, with this, you're talking about you're taking something orally, you're taking and putting something on topically, and you're doing something injectable, getting to the bloodstream. So, that's the way to go. And those are the best things I think that you could possibly take. What is your typical sleep regimen, and do you avoid eating before bed? Sleep regimen, mine's so freaking crazy now. It's just I'll text Mike like sometimes it'll be like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, I'm going to bed. I'll talk to you in the AM. Sometimes I won't talk to him by 12 or 1 o'clock my time.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell's going on? Like, and I'm just up and I'm working or stressed out about something, and at that point, like, I just can't go to sleep. So and it's bad. Like I sent Mike, and I usually track all my bedtime scores and how I am and all that. And I'm usually like really on that. But like this month has been one of the worst months for sleep for me. And you notice it the next day too, right? Like I can cover it up the next day with some of the different therapies that I have, but you don't want, like, I know, like deep down, like, all right, listen, I didn't get the best sleep last night. And that's probably not doing good for me in a number of different ways. So you got to prioritize sleep and try to make it happen. As far as
most important thing,
eating before bed, usually I don't. I know they say don't because all that, but like there are certain things I think that you can eat before bed that I think will be okay. And what I go with this and what I used to do with Peter and, to this day is drinking a protein shake before bed. I think drinking a protein shake before bed isn't the most harmful thing for you. But if you start going to town on like a whole bunch of cookies or like eat half a cake, before bedtime, it's going to spike insulin. Your sugar levels are going to be up. Probably not going to be the best for you and the best for your sleep patterns.
What about melatonin versus like Serenity or?
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
melatonin. But do you have that in Serenity?
So no, I would never put melatonin in any product I ever had. I wouldn't
Please
recommend.
explain.
Sure, I wouldn't recommend it to any person on the planet, unless, and I'll tell you that because there's always an exception to the rule. The reason I wouldn't tell anybody to take melatonin, because melatonin's slanged left and right by every person out there right now. Over the counter, supplements, get better sleep, stay asleep longer, you wake up refreshed. Great. But melatonin is a hormone. So melatonin is not just something that's like a gimmick supplement. It's an actual hormone in your body. And that hormone is released when it gets dark outside. It tells your body, hey, listen, we need to start going to sleep now. If you take melatonin and you take it consistently, or you give it to your kid consistently, like I see some of these parents doing, it desensitizes them and will actually mess up their sleep patterns and could mess up their sleep patterns in the future too as well. So this is something that I would stay away from with melatonin. With Titan Serenity, you have all natural components: magnesium, theanine, and taurine. These are going to be great. They're not going to desensitize. They're not hormones inside the body. They're going to help the body go to sleep, stay asleep, or even if you took a smaller dose, was social anxiety. There are people out there that can't go on stage or can't go in big groups of crowds without getting super, super high anxiety. And what were they doing to get over that anxiety? They were taking Xanax or Klonopins or whatever the hell they were taking narcotic wise to get them, or beta blockers, because beta blockers slow your heart rate down. So if you're real nervous, get on stage, a lot of people, a lot of speakers, a lot of people I know take beta blockers. The problem with beta blockers is some people they aren't used to that reaction and it gets too low as far as their heart rate. So at that point, that's not a good thing either. So
A beta blocker before they talk.
beta blockers before they talk or get in social situations.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, I know all the gimmicks of all these high-end people, and some of the things I'm like, like some of the things I can't even take because I get so much of a negative side effect from. Like it's just there's some things out there like just I wouldn't recommend. But when you talk about the sleep aspect, I would try to get sleep as natural as possible. If you're really like hurt, if you're traveling on a plane like Mike is, and he goes from a different time zone, okay, he's flying from California, he's going to Romania. When he gets to Romania, his time clock is going to be messed up, right? So that would be a case that I'd say, hey, listen, you know what? Take the melatonin that night, but don't continue on with it, right? Use it as a tool for that one night. Or at that point, like Benadryl. Benadryl is another good one that be more natural to your system, can actually reset your receptors. If you're taking a whole bunch of stimulants like ECAs, utilize it. But you got to utilize Benadryl the right way. Take it like right when you're about to lay down, because if you take it and you fight through that passage, you might not go to sleep because it keeps you up at that point. And it's kind of like a zombie stage. So, use them as tools. But yeah, those, I think Serenity is one of the best ones you can do all natural wise. A growth releasing hormone peptide. Those are the aspects that help you get better sleep and raise your growth hormone in the nighttime. But using melatonin, I wouldn't say that for people. I would say only in certain situations, scenarios, you should be using melatonin. Otherwise than that, why desensitize a hormone like that in your body? It's just not good. And a lot of people don't know it's a hormone. They don't even look into it. I got people that are looking into like glutathione, like, what's that going to do? What's that side effect? What's it? But you'll go in, you'll grab this bottle, you won't look at the back at all. All you're looking is the marketing, and it says, this will help you sleep better. Take this and get better nighttime rest. You're like, oh, great, I'm going to get nighttime rest. And you haven't even looked at the back. I mean, even food you guys are eating, like, it's a hell of a lot worse for you than a shot of glutathione would ever be, because glutathione is to be a benefit for you. There's no negative downfall to that, except for maybe a little bit of a sting during the injection if it's real, real cold. Other than that, man, like, I don't know. Like I said, I see it all the time. I'm like, I tell people, I'm like, you're really asking this question, but you'll probably just go pick up some supplement off the shelf and just take it just without even looking at the back or not even caring, because it's a perception that it's on the shelf. It's already been looked at by somebody. It's already safe.
Fine. They're taking the word for it again.
Right.
I'll just jump back for a second. I eat off season right before bed, helps me sleep better. And I do, I think most people know that I do a pound of fruit right before bed. Something else, belly fat. I would just recommend doing a 12-week plan where you're in a deficit and you add in work.
Yeah.
And then hair, again, I'm down to my last day of that and the EAAs and everything. So I'm bummed because John has me on, and the team has me on a 3 protocol for the hair.
Right.
A tablet, the foam.
Yep.
And and the injection.
Yep.
So I'm a threeser.
Yep.
Threeser.
Triple threat in that aspect, man. Triple threat.
Yeah, triple threat. And I always try to make sure that I have in stock my protocol. And so I'm not waiting on the next shipment. And so I just say to you guys, get your order in.
Yes.
And figure out that time span between starting them and doing them, and then make sure that you got that second order in, just if there's a delay with delivery or the pharmacies or anything like that, is my recommendation. But again, hair and skin is by far the front runners for Mike O'Hearn maybe that might help some of you guys out there. Again, going back to what John said early, be preventative in this, be proactive, take care of yourself so later you don't have to fix yourself.
That's so true.
Insurance, guys, the blood work's inexpensive. I know it sounds expensive because it's Titan Medical, but the aspect of it is optimizing you and making you the best moving, capable savage of a human that's possible. I'm still here today, closing in on 60, and I'm loving this.
Yes.
And again, this is a twofold, me teaming up with the Titan Medical team and Johnny.
Yeah.
So for you guys, get over there, get going. Also, talk to them about your protocol and what you can do and how it's going to help you. And then take initiative on writing down the blood work and the issues that your provider says, hey, circle these, and then change your diet to help that. Nothing. If the first thing about you and why you're how would you say this in a very delicate way? Don't do it. Yeah. Oh, well. If you're so blindsided and all that matters is that you get ripped and got muscles, then me doing this isn't helping you. If none of this other aspect or what you're seeing is getting through to you, that it's supposed to be about life and being healthy.
Yes.
And being able to tussle with your kid and do things and get off the couch. I know that some of these pro bodybuilders say, hey, I got through and I'm great. And I got through the hardships. And I'm like, holy shit, you do nothing. It's like you go to the gym and it's like, don't you want to have more of a life is my belief.
Absolutely.
And being able to tussle. And yesterday I got to fight a couple people, and Mona got to smash my face in yesterday on set. But I don't know. I guess for me, I was born an athlete, and I come from that era that it was outside being reckless, jumping over your friends on the BMX bike, jumping off the roof. I just like that I get to still do this. And so I just got to say an extra thanks, because seeing where I was yesterday and so appreciative to the opportunity to be able to do it. And again, I'm playing a 38-year-old on screen.
That's awesome.
Jeez Louise. That's just fun as shit, man. It's like, holy shit. There's enough real 38-year-olds that can play this character, and then they give it to me. So thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, Titan Medical team. Thank you to my provider today for calling me. And I know that we set this up through the missus. And sorry for bugging her on this, man. No, I know she's as busy as you are. We got a couple savages behind us that are even more busy, and it's pretty cool to have that kind of teamwork.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Our wives are everything. They're everything. God bless them. God bless their souls.
To deal with, well, I know for me, to deal with me, man. And then also, just so you guys understand, when you are, and Jeff pointed this out the other day to me, with the GLP-1s, is this correct if I'm understanding this? Is that they may help curbing your appetite? Because I do notice a lot of bodybuilders get very moody when they're dieting, or just people in general get very moody and edgy when they're dieting. Is this something that kind of helps curb the appetite so you don't have that grumpy hunger feeling?
Yeah, you won't get hangry. At that point, it makes you feel more fuller. That's what it does. It slows down digestion to a certain extent, makes you feel fuller. So even if you do feel like you're hungry and you're like, man, I'm gonna hit this whole pizza up, right? And I could definitely do it, no problem. You go it and you might take 3 or 4 bites and you're like, damn, I can't eat anymore. Like, even if you wanted to. So yeah, it definitely curbs that hunger. So that's what a lot of those guys are doing too, right? Like you said, like they won't feel like they're hungry at all or hangry or pissed off because they can't eat. So at that point, like, it does that. And then at that point it's burning through visceral belly fat too. So I mean, it's getting through those fatty acids. It's doing exactly what they want. And like I said, it's a hell of a tool, man. It's a hell of a device, or those in general.
And side effect is it helps your insulin, right?
Yeah, it helps the pancreas, helps insulin. I mean, talking about the cardiovascular and stuff like that, where they're going the FDA approval for it. I mean, to me, it's like, all right, well, people are fat or losing weight, and they're getting healthier by doing it, and it's taking less stress off the heart, which is probably making that healthier, and taking less stress off all these other vital organs like the kidneys and stuff, and that's probably why it's helping those. But either
So the
so,
side effects they shouldn't talk about.
Yeah.
But it's clear. It's like a 400-pound person. Well, it helps the joints. Well, it doesn't technically help the joints. Well, he's now 180 pounds, so I'm guessing it helps the joints.
right,
So it's like, wait,
right.
yeah, it's like
So,
great.
yeah. It's crazy. I mean, and the people like, that might be like, I had one of my buddies who,
Sorry, Johnny, we lost you there for a second. I got blinded. Blinded by the watch there. Sorry.
So wait, I had one of my friends who's a patient, right? He's got all the money in the world. It's awesome. That's cool. But I don't know what happened this last year. He kind of let himself go. And he spiked all the way up in his A1C to a 9. And if anybody doesn't know how like concerning that is, once you hit a 6, you're diabetic. All right. So you're type 2, and then you start just going up. The higher that sugar level goes up, is worse for your body deterioration and everything else that goes along with it. So we put him on the GLP, and he's been working. He's reversed type 2 diabetes. He's down to a 5.5 from a 9. Any other practitioner out there that will put them on a medication, if they get into the 7, that's great. Like, 7 is great. Like, what? Like, even those have moved up. Like, they used to be a little bit lower, right? And now it's higher on the reference range. So just things change.
That's not a good thing, folks. It's allowing you to be worse. It's allowing you to be worse. So that's not a good thing, just so you understand.
Just like testosterone levels lowering over time like that. That's not a good thing either, right? And that's just based off that sample set that we were talking about, with 100 patients or whatever. It's no good. I would like to get 100 patients that were the healthiest patients they could get. And at the healthiest patients, look over at least their levels and their reference ranges and compare it to the other sample set and go with a median type deal. They have people who are unhealthy, you have people who are super healthy. Let's run them both. What's the median of these two people? And let's put that as a reference range. That would make a hell of a lot more sense to me, but it just isn't. I mean, even Peter, I blood tested him last week, seen his testosterone. His highest reference range on here was like 750, came back at like a 680, which is really good. I'm like, all right, you're 60 points from the high. That's great. IGF-1 level, he was middle of the road in IGF-1. And I thought it was going to be a little bit higher because of his height and how he grows and everything like that, but it wasn't. And I don't know if it's because of his sleep patterns, because sleep will affect that. And Peter doesn't have the best sleep regimen. Like I have to go in his room at 12 o'clock and he's still up, like looking at the sky. I'm like, dude, you got to be up at 5:30 in the morning to go train, right? You're trained every day. You're not getting enough sleep. I'm like, you're not doing what you want to do here. So, it's vital, but but everything else looked really good on his body. I mean, like everything else was dialed in. Thank God.
Doesn't hurt that he's like closing in on 6'3", 6'4", good looking.
That's definitely it. We got a guy who wants a
here's a great one to finish out the day with.
I got you. What helps heal partial rotator cuff better, PRP shot or BPC 157 and TB 500? Honestly, I would do both. If you can utilize both, do both, because it's two different aspects. The PRP, right, when you're pulling that from your blood and you're getting that nice yellow vial, it's kind of be injected back into you. That could do a world of benefits for you. Now, following up with BPC and TB 500 after that, even better. If you can get multiple PRP shots over the next couple of months in the shoulder, it would probably help heal it a lot better. Stem cells might be another route for you too. But BPC and TB 500, afterwards is definitely going to be the way to roll for sure, especially for a partial. As a full, I'd say, it would definitely help, but it's going to take a lot more time to heal and something like that. And sometimes people need surgery at that aspect. So, yeah, that's what I use every single day. The best ones. PRP is another good one. I definitely think you should utilize all the time.
I agree. I nothing to add to that. Johnny, thanks for hanging out today. Sorry about the delay.
No problem. No, not a problem at all. There is a guy in here who said, didn't anyone catch what the promo code was for the blood test?
Titan.
Yeah, it's Titan, right?
Titan.
Titan 1? Yeah. So that should be it. So what's his name on here?
Big Commander.
Big Commander.
Was it him? Was it Brick Commander? Oh, yeah. So Brick Commander, you can use that code Titan, or if you have problems with that, just call or text the line. We'll give you a discount on the phone. Just say, John said I can get the discount. We'll hook you up, okay?
Yeah, it's easy enough, my man. It's easy enough.
Easy
Yeah,
peasy.
for anybody there, just blood work's inexpensive. And at the end of the day, nothing is expensive if it has to do with you and your health. Just keep that in mind. It's just, I know I asked the question the other day about stem cells, and most people's response was, well, I'm not injured. It's expensive. And I'm just hearing people talk about themselves, because that's when they say themselves. It's like, why wouldn't you do, if you can, BPC and TB 500 all year?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm not injured, but it helps connective tissue.
Right.
It's like, wait a minute, you're not technically injured if, well, yeah, you are if your testosterone is low. You actually are hurting yourself. But the reality is there, you may be going through life, and there's people going through life right now that are injured and hurting themselves because they're running themselves in the ground because their tank is not working.
That's right.
So
That's right.
At the end of the day, guys, it's just really up to you. If you want to get in shape, you will. You want to take care of yourself, you will. Titan Medical is here to help you. And again, it's inexpensive, and they're amazing. And they won't, like other companies, will not upsell you on the talks.
Jeez,
Like,
geez.
Careful when you do this, guys. Go, hey, I'm just going to go to anybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way.
Yeah, they always come back to us. It's okay. We'll help you out. I hate fixing people. I like getting people like right off the bat, like not having to get them and fix them, but we do it all the time. I'm not worried about it. If you are with another provider and you're not happy, you're not getting the results, you're not feeling good, give us a chance. I promise you, you will be more than delighted at what we do for you. I promise. And the service and all the follow-up. That's a guarantee for me. So, that's some good aspects for us. I did have one other thing I could add, I guess, from last week, because I started looking different things up. So for the hair pigmentation, it's PTP20. That's the peptide. It's called, for the name, protein tyrosine phosphatase, PTP20. And that's for hair pigmentation. So slowing down grays and all that people have been asking for. The other one was clenbuterol. If you were going to substitute something for clenbuterol that you could get that wouldn't be as damaging, it wouldn't give you the negative side effects through the day, it would be albuterol. Albuterol you can take through an inhaler, you can take orally. We've got we used to have it in some of our weight loss regimens. You could take it. Obviously, it's going to open up the capillaries in the lungs. You're going to breathe better, so it's good with training, but it's also going to mobilize fatty acids. And people were asking about that with clenbuterol, and I wouldn't take clenbuterol, but albuterol to a certain extent would be okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Would you think about putting that back into a fat burner later on down the road?
So we have it. I have it singly. I have it with vitamin C by itself, or you could get like an ECA and then take albuterol along with the ECA and kind of like, I wouldn't take it at the same time, but I would take one in the morning, get going. And then at that point, like if you're going to do HIIT, I'll go with the albuterol, take the albuterol, hit that, go through that, and then maybe your ECA like an hour or two in the afternoon, get you through the rest of the day. You still have enough time where your body is, not going to be affected sleep-wise. You can go to sleep too and get the rest that you can get at night.
That's a plus, guys. I didn't know about this either. So this is a great one.
New things coming every single week, guys. I've been working my ass off, and that's why I haven't had people like, where have you been? What have you been doing? I'm like, I've been working. I've literally been ninja status and just working and just keeping to myself. Like that's all I'm doing right now. But I promise you, new things are on the horizon for us for sure.
Stay on. We're going to end this, and then I just want to talk about the Olympia for 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. Got you.
All right, Jeffrey, pull us out. Thanks, guys.